everybody, Greensburg Muse here. I'm sitting with Kurtz, and we're going to talk about his new CD that'll be coming out soon called Between These Lines. Just so you know, I'm doing this in my apartment, so if you hear some noise, it's my neighbors. Okay, let's get started. Greetings, Corey. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So you said you're originally from Cleveland, right?
Yeah, just south of Cleveland, between Akron and Cleveland. So I had to pick
How'd you
one or
get
the
here?
other. I got a scholarship to play football at IUP
Ah,
and finished up my degree, and now I'm working at the hospital up there.
okay.
In
Wow,
Indiana.
so you were into sports, football.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
how'd
pretty
you,
big.
How'd you become a musician from that?
I blew out my knee my junior year of football and had to have a couple surgeries. And while I was recuperating, one of my buddies gave me a guitar to mess around with, and I just never stopped playing.
Cool. So you said you like to write songs that people can relate to and learn from. Are these your personal stories that you write about?
I think subconsciously they are personal stories, things that maybe I've gone through that I never really paid much attention to at the time, and here a year later or so, sit down to write lyrics, and all of a sudden a song just flows out based on an experience or a feeling or some sort of emotion that you had a while ago. So yeah, definitely.
So who were your influences growing up, and who are they now?
Influences growing up, I would definitely say Johnny Cash, The Who. My dad had me listening to Supertramp when I was a little kid.
Supertramp.
Yeah.
All right.
But influences now, Shane MacGowan from the Pogues, Joe Pug, he's a folk artist, pretty well known in the underground scene. I don't know why he's not bigger than he is. So Shane MacGowan, Joe Pug, and Johnny Cash kind of sticks out in my mind just from a guitar standpoint, kind of that train keep rolling type strumming pattern.
Right.
So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I like that too. What do you like about the genre of music you do? How does it speak to you?
I feel like it's timeless. You listen to Bob Dylan songs today, and it's just him and his guitar and a harmonica, and there's not all these bells and whistles and electronic stuff that you hear on a lot of popular radio, and
You mean actual music?
yeah, actual music. It just feels like it's never gonna go away. So why not? That's always intrigued me, and being able to actually play the instruments that you hear on an album, and they're not synthesized. So yeah, folk music kind of cuts all that away and just gives it to you straight.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
So, what's your writing process?
Normally I'll write lyrics first, and then I'll struggle like hell with a guitar pattern or whatever. A lot of times I try to overthink progressions and overall structure of the music, but most of the time when I can get the lyrics on the page, then I can mold the sound around the lyrics, and then test it live a couple of times to see if it's worth going forward with.
Okay, so tell me about the new CD. Where is it being recorded? Because you're still in the process of recording it, right?
Right. Yes.
And who's playing on it besides you, if anyone?
Right now, I have a good friend in Ravenna, Ohio, who I used his studio when I released an album 2 years ago. With somebody else. I wasn't singing on it, I just played guitar. But so I'm using his studio back in Ohio to record drums and overall mixing. And then Dave Marley, who I play with down here, kind of runs in our little group. with Alyssa. He
Alyssa
has
Hankey.
Alyssa Hankey. He has a studio up in Clymer, and the bulk of the recording has been done in a church up in Clymer.
Oh, wow, a church.
Yeah, the
Wow.
natural sounds and reverb and
And
whatnot.
they just use it for that?
Well, no, it's an actual church.
Oh, it's like
being
a working
used. Yeah,
church.
so we just go in whenever nobody's in there. And
Wow, that's
and
cool. I
take
bet
it.
the acoustics
Yeah.
are pretty good in there.
Yeah, the height and everything, it's
Oh,
pretty
that's
wild.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, let's get into the songs. Let's talk about Running Away. It sounds to me like a sort of a breakup song, but the melody has a sort of happy, almost hopeful feel to it. What was the inspiration for that?
Yeah, I think that can be applied to many different aspects of life other than a breakup song. You know, let's take drugs for example. You know, you can.
Let's take
you
drugs.
Can, yeah, you get. Let's say someone's deep into an addiction or something, and you know, you apply that song to their personal experience, then it kind of fits.
Sure.
So
Something you're trying to extricate yourself
yeah,
from, in other words.
yeah,
Okay. I love the lyric, "It's easy not to stay with you." That made me laugh. That's great. So, it's not really, like you said, it's not really in my heart is shredded kind of song, but almost like I'm leaving skid marks in the driveway as I pull away.
right, yeah, yeah. It's kind of blunt, you know.
I like that's like a great lyric. It's easy not to stay with you. Okay, moving on to Tired Little Soul. This is such a good song.
Thank you.
I mean, just damn, that's just a good song. I love the guitar work on here. This sounds like a really sort of tender love song. Is it your guitar playing on this?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it? That's really really awesome. Is it about anyone in particular, or is it just kind of a general song?
Yeah, well, you know, I wrote this song over a period of 2 nights at the dinner table. My girlfriend, she was cooking dinner, and it just kind of, those 4 verses just fell onto the paper, and I kind of wanted to use like an Irish type theme, you know, open G, Nick Drake sound. For tuning on the guitar and in a finger style, but I wanted it to kind of be complicated in the sense that it's going to start at a high-paced rhythm and then calm down a little bit, and then the lyrics come in. So
Nice. That's a really good song. What do you mean by tired little soul, and whose soul are you speaking of?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Just like came.
Yeah,
You're channeling, and that's what came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think that can be interpreted by everybody in whatever way they interpret it.
hmm
But I love the tired little soul, because that can be interpreted in so many ways.
yeah. I think we're all tired in a sense
Yeah.
until we die.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
I know it's kind of dark, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not really dark so much as I think just sort of a universal, like you said, everybody's tired in one way or another with something. This had a lot of intensity on it, which I hear a lot of influence on this as well. Is a song like this tough to write?
Yeah, this one was mostly for the finger picking pattern.
Yeah.
I had a hard time finger picking and singing to
Yeah.
match up at the same time. You know what I?
Right.
Finger picking has never really come easy for me. I'd rather strum my guitar until all the strings break.
Right.
But yeah, to pick a pattern and kind of make it. You know, all guitarists, I think, want their stuff to sound complicated and so nobody can sit down and just match what everybody's doing. Sorry, that was my watch.
Oh, okay. We were looking around like,
Yeah.
oh, did I forget to turn something on? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a. I think this will have an instant connection with people. When you write a song like that, are you aware of like, wow, this is I got something magical here, or this is gonna really do you not know until somebody says that to you?
Yeah, well, a great time to pick up on something like that is when I'm playing live. And let's say I'll go play that song live 10 times. And if you're playing in a bar and there's, people, they're loud and everything, and all that, you start playing that song, people quiet down a little bit and they start to pay attention. So it's not necessarily somebody saying, "Hey, that's a great song," but it's by, what they're not saying, like the action.
They just quiet down to
yeah,
listen.
yeah, and
like, this interests me. This is speaking to me now. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's kind of a hallmark of a really good song. If people stop what they're doing and say, "Hang on a second, I gotta hear this." Okay, tell me about Between These Lines, the song. This is a really emotional song. What's this about?
yeah. So that was probably the third song I've ever written. What I think it's about is not to be so cookie cutter and with the social norm. I know that's cliche to say, but one of the first lines in the verse is the masses are free flowing when unadvised. I mean, if nobody's being policed, then everybody's doing whatever they please. So I don't know. It's weird. A lot of the songs that I write, I really don't know what they mean until I sit down and I,
analyze,
figure out. But
stream of consciousness type of stuff.
Yeah. I like to write songs that don't have choruses in them, so that was one of them.
Oh.
So I'll fill that void with the harmonica.
Yeah, I was gonna say the harmonica gives us a real folk feel to it. I really like that. Did you play the harmonica?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Every all the songs that I either record at home or whatever, then I play the harmonica on and all the instruments. So
that gives it the little kind of Johnny Cash's, Bob Dylan-ish folk feel to it.
yeah.
Works really well with that song. So, do you like playing live?
I do. And I hate to say it, but sometimes it gets boring. And that's when it starts to get boring, then I gotta find some other place to play or find different people to play in front of. It's really weird. You go and play in front of 60, 70 people, and that's easy, but then you go play in front of 5 people, and that's really hard.
Right. Much more intimate, much
Yeah,
more.
so yeah, but
You like to mix it up.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What's your philosophy on music? Like, what does music mean to you personally? If you have a philosophy on music.
Music used to be just an escape for me. It used to be just a hobby. People can use it as a hobby. They can use it as an escape. Now it's just kind of become part of my life. And so if you were to ask me, who I am as a person, music is a huge part of my life. Like, you don't get me without music,
Right.
So if I were interviewing for a job and they said, well, we'll take you, but you have to leave your music behind, that can't happen.
Right.
So, like, it's ingrained in me now from the last 6 years of playing. Then it's here to stay.
It's here.
Yeah.
I think it's actually, well, my philosophy is in everyone, actually. I think it's a universal thing, whether they recognize it or not. It's the sound of the universe. But
Mhm.
enough about me. What's next for you musically? What are you doing? Well, I know you're gonna finish recording this.
Right. Yeah. 4 songs left to lay down in terms of guitar, vocals, and harmonica, and then we'll add bass and drums. I've really been kind of plugged up lately, the last probably 6 months in terms of writing, because I have wanted to get this out there. I don't think I can write a new song until this is all recorded and,
Gotta get this
and
done
put it out.
first.
Yeah. So,
That
mhm.
makes sense. And this is due probably February-ish?
Yeah, I'm hoping, mid-February sometime. Just depends on how long it takes to mix and master. So,
Right.
but yeah, we're pretty close to being done with my part of the recording at least, and then the drums won't take too long, and the bass will come in after. So.
Now, are you gonna be playing those? Are you getting other musicians to do it, or?
Yeah, so I'll have my buddy in Ohio. He'll play the drums, and then we have to find a bassist. Which, I mean, I can play bass, but I'd like to find somebody who plays upright bass.
Oh, okay.
To give it
Nice.
even a little more feel, and then we'll just keep it as raw as that. Yeah.
So, right now, what's the best way for people to listen to the music that you have out?
I really like my Bandcamp page. My SoundCloud page is flooded with like 60-some uploads, and a lot of it was from 3 years ago, and I sound like crap. Just figuring out how to sing, but yeah. So Facebook's a great way, and then Bandcamp. I usually save the best home recordings for that site. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for doing the interview.